funerals that occurred around the time of the Civil War, and that was the specific result of the invention and use of embalming. See, prior to the Civil War, funerals were generally family-created, family-managed, family-run events. When somebody died, the person was cared for at home, the body was cared for at home, the family generally buried their loved one on their own property or in a community cemetery or a cemetery associated with a house of worship. And they maybe held a memorial service at a later point or a funeral service right before the burial. But as a result of embalming, families started to turn aspects of the funeral over to for-profit individuals and eventually for-profit companies. Embalming became important during the Civil War simply because it was a way for families to have the bodies of their loved ones returned home for a proper burial, for burial in an area where the family can continue to visit and maintain the grave. But so by turning their loved one's body over to an embalmer, someone who at the time was called an embalming surgeon, that was really the first time that American families began hiring out the services, certain aspects of the services associated with a funeral. And embalmers realized that in order to maintain their business, they really needed to start controlling the funeral as a whole. And so they branched out from being embalming surgeons to offering a lot of the aspects of what we today consider to be a traditional funeral, meaning a place where people can congregate, a place where visitation or viewing can be held, of course the embalming services, preparation of the body, transportation to and from the cemetery, and that in a nutshell is how the funeral industry, as we know it today, came about. Now, lately, in the past few years, certainly no more than the last decade, some American families are starting to take back the funeral. They're starting to handle some of the different parts of the service themselves. For instance, they might care for their loved one's body at home, or they might bury their loved one in a so-called green cemetery, somewhere where the family can go and dig the grave, somewhere where the body then is just left and in a natural setting. But we'll be talking more about that in an upcoming video. Please look around the site if you have any questions. Don't forget to contact me by clicking on that Contact Me button floating to the left, and I will be sure to get back.